I don't know why I'm even bothering. But I can tell you that I do not feel like yelling. I don't feel like raising my voice. All I can say is I told you so. Last week, when I did my review, I told you guys that DIY were going to be losing their titles, and that's exactly what happened. Now yes, Unholy Union did not lose theirs, which I will happily admit I was wrong, but Blair Davenport joining up with them is a interesting choice, to say the least. And the reason why I say that is because Unholy Union are Raw superstars, and Blair is a Smackdown superstar. So basically, this whole faction, if they are going to become a faction, is going to be very bizarre. It's going to be a very bizarre faction. I have no idea why Triple H is putting all these people together, like Sonya with Zoe and Shayna, Lyra with Katana and Kaden. Like, I don't know why he's just making factions. In my opinion, I look at it as a bit of lazy booking, if you ask me. I consider that lazy booking, and the reason why I say that is if you guys have seen my video regarding about factions, I have been feeling like WWE does this as an act of lazy booking just to get people on TV. I see him putting people in factions as a lazy attempt to get more people on TV. That's kind of how I look at it. So I look at this whole thing with Blair being with Unholy Union is a lazy attempt to just get her on TV. I mean, if you spent more time on focusing on other people instead of the Bloodline, maybe we would be getting more people on TV. Tonight's show was not all that great. Sure, Andrade and Carmelo Hayes had a good match, but I mean, I don't care for Carmelo as much as other people do, because I know he's a very popular guy. When it comes, a lot of fans like him, but I'm not really all for him, because I do not understand what makes him him. I just do not get his whole character. I mean, I like Andrade. I've always have liked him, because I've always liked Andrade. So, I mean, him winning that match for the second time definitely surprised me, because I definitely thought Triple H was going to do the old trope of one person wins the first match, and then the other guy wins the second match, and then, oh, now it's all tied up. And then we're going to get a third decisive match. Logan Paul, man, if Cleveland, Ohio are booing Logan Paul, it just shows you that Logan Paul is arguably the most unlikable guy in the entire world. But people are trying to tell me that Logan Paul is a great athlete, phenomenal wrestler, he's in great shape. Look, I don't give a shit if he's a good wrestler, which in my opinion, he's not. He's a bum. But this guy causes so much trouble, he's done so much shit, and the fact that people are willing to just let all that slide, the things that he said about the Olympics the other day, and all this other stuff that he's done in his past, and the fact that WWE are just going to give him a slap on the wrist and not, like, punish him or suspend him for his actions. They're just going to give him a little slap on the wrist and say, no, don't do that again. Don't do that again. It's pathetic. LA Knight needs to win that United States Championship from Logan Paul. They need to get that title off of him. And look, if Johnny Gargano can lose in Cleveland, so can Logan Paul. I just did not care about this edition of SmackDown. What's happened to AJ Styles? Why are you not using AJ Styles? Come on. Why are they not using the Phenomenal One? Where's he been? Why are they not doing anything with the Phenomenal One? They reunited him with Gallows and Anderson. To do what? Nothing? It's ridiculous. I don't even know what to say about Santos's match. Though I do not mind Legado. Like, my god, I feel like the fans have stopped caring about him ever since he turned on Ray. Like, the fans liked him as a face when he was with Ray, but as soon as he went away from Ray, like, I think this just proves one big thing. Fans only care about LWO because Rey Mysterio's there. If it was just Santos, Cruz, Joaquin, and Zelina, and there was no Rey, I guarantee you the LWO would have been as less over, because it just shows you that the crowd only care about LWO because Rey's there. And they only cared about Santos because he was with Rey, and now that he's not with Rey anymore, and he's not with LWO, it just shows you the crowd just do not care about this guy anymore. And it's a shame. Santos is a great wrestler. Some person was under the ring, so I don't know what that whole thing was about. Someone was under the ring and they grabbed Baron Corbin's leg. It made me think that there was going to be a new member of Legado del Fantasma, possibly. And again, I don't know why they keep adding more people to factions. I don't know why they need to keep adding more and more and more and more people to factions. Why do people think adding more names and more people to a faction, more does not equal better? Adding more members does not make things better. Just continuously adding more members to factions doesn't make things better. I'm sorry. And that's the truth. Constantly adding more people to factions does not make anything better. And I hate it. I hate how they just think just adding more and more and more and more and more to something makes it better. It doesn't. And I really despise it. I really do. Tiffany Stratton got a new briefcase. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-friggin-doo. She got a new contract. She got a new briefcase. Whoop-de-doo. She's probably going to use it tomorrow. She's probably going to use it tomorrow. And she's probably going to use it tomorrow on Nia Jax or Bayley and become the new champion. Because I'm pretty much banking on Tiffany leaving. I'm banking on either Nia or Tiffany are leaving as the champion. I just cannot see Bayley leaving SummerSlam as champion. But I'm kind of hoping Bayley does, because I'd rather Bayley as champion than Nia Jax. This show is atrocious. And the thing that doesn't make sense to me is that Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell are supposed to be heels, right? And then they're backstage with Johnny Gargano. Like, that makes no sense. It makes utterly no sense. Like, I know Candice is Johnny's wife before anyone says, she's Johnny's wife. I know. I'm not a blithering idiot. But in storyline, but you got Johnny as a face. Candice is a heel. And yes, I know she's Johnny's husband before anyone tries to be a smartass. But if you look at it in a storyline perspective, why is she there? Why is she in Indy supporting Johnny Gargano? Because they used to be in a faction called The Way. It still doesn't make sense. One's a babyface. The other two are heels. his wife is considered a bad guy. That's the thing that I don't get. But you know, oh, she's his wife and she's got their child. So I guess we're just gonna have to ignore that she's a heel, she's a villain, she's a bad guy. I guess we're ignoring that because she's with Johnny, right? I just thought that was just really dumb. Just make them baby faces then. Just make them baby faces. You want them with Johnny? Just make them baby faces. This just doesn't make any sense to have them two as heels, Johnny as a face, and he's basically walking up to two bad guys, even though it's his wife, holding his child, and then gives it to his wife, who's technically a bad guy. To me, it just does not work. To me, that's inconsistent. To me, that's very inconsistent. But it's just, oh, it's his wife, so who cares, right? It's just a whole thing of, oh, it's his wife, so who gives a shit, right? It doesn't matter if she's a villain, it's his wife. Doesn't matter if she's a heel, it's his wife. I can't stand Triple H's booking. Why, oh why, did he take the title of A-Town Down Under, pass it to DIY, just to transitional champion them to the Bloodline, Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu? Why? It makes no sense. You should have just, like, I don't want to be that guy, but they should have just left the titles on A-Town Down Under. They really should have. They should have just left the titles on A-Town Down Under. Never should have taken them off Waller and Theory. I don't like Theory, but at least he and Gargano as champions, I actually didn't mind their title reign, despite they didn't do a lot of defending, because everybody nowadays think defending your title makes your title reign better. I mean, yes, I have been criticizing Logan Paul for not defending his title, but he is different. Logan is different. He's a part-timer. While Theory and Waller have been on TV weekly. Well, they're on TV all the time. They're on TV all the time. Defending your title doesn't always mean you're a great champion. That only works for babyface wrestlers. That works when you are a babyface wrestler. And this is the thing that drives me crazy. People just think, it doesn't matter if you're a face or a heel, you should be defending your title consistently. Like how Gunther was when he was IC champion. Just like how Roxanne Perez is. Look, when it comes to NXT, it's a different scenario. But the thing is, babyface wrestlers are the fighting champions that take on all comers, while the heel champions, they're the ones that'll defend the titles less. They're the ones that defend the titles less and make the fans more annoyed at them. But all I'm saying is, A-Town Down Under, I preferred them as champions. I didn't even want them to lose it to DIY, if I'm being completely honest. I didn't even want them to lose it to DIY. I just knew they were. But last week in my review, I said the Bloodline winning the gauntlet was so predictable because it now means they were going to defeat Johnny and Ciampa. And I said the only way they would lose, the only way Johnny and Ciampa would retain is if Cody got involved or if Jimmy Uso returned, which I knew was not going to happen. It was a foregone conclusion that Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga were going to win the WWE Tag Team Championships. It was a foregone conclusion. To me, it was a foregone conclusion, and I knew there was no escape. I knew there was no escape. I just knew it. I just knew there was no escape. And I hate it. this company will never change. I never, ever want to hear this shit from Charlotte Flair ever again. People have always criticized Charlotte Flair for always winning championships. Because she's a Flair. Oh, she only wins X amount of titles because she's a Flair. But the Bloodline is worse. They're holding titles because they're Samoans and because they're a part of the Rock's family tree. They're a part of the Rock's family tree. And it's kind of ironic that Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa are not even Samoan. Like, that's true. It's true. They're not even Samoans. They say they're the sons of Haku, but they're not really. But Haku isn't really their father. Haku's not really their father. He's their adopted father. So, reality, they're not even Samoans, but they're in a Samoan group. So we got two fake Samoans in a Samoan group. Nia Jax. Like friggin' Naomi's not even really Samoan. Why isn't she in the group? She's married to a Samoan, but she's not in the faction. And to be honest, I don't even want her in there. I only wanted Naomi in the Bloodline when it was Roman and just the Usos. But, you know, even I got tired of them. And look, people have every right to complain. People have every right to say that they do not like the Bloodline anymore. This whole shit has been running for 4 years now. This shit has been going on for 4 years, and of course people are going to get sick of it. And I truly am sick of it. I'm at the point where I just, like, you've already seen me talk about how I'm sick of the Bloodline. This shit is never gonna end, man. This shit with the Bloodline is just never gonna end. And it's a joke. It's a joke they do Johnny Gargano so dirty like this. Hell, I'm not even the biggest DIY fan, but even I felt bad for them. Champions just to be fed to the Bloodline. An absolute joke.